There are three proposals that have been drafted into the EPL as a better Matchday experience. Jay, one of them is getting to interview a player who's just been subbed off, get to see what his thoughts are on the game or how he feels about being subbed off. 2, halftime interviews from players, managers, whoever they can get the mic to. And number 3, that end of the match locker room interview. Which one do you think, if we were to add it into the game, specifically the EPL, which one do you think entices the Matchday experience? Do you want to see one of them, 2 of them, or maybe all of them make sense to you?
2 of them, right? I don't want cameras to go into the locker rooms because I've seen that in America, and I've heard the guys guys and girls who've interviewed players in locker rooms, and yeah, we saw the video of Orlando Pirates, and I don't want to see that, and it's gonna happen. And I feel that that's an invasion of privacy. I feel like the locker room should be the locker room. I know Bucks Camp does give us a view of what happens in for example, in the Orlando Pirates locker room, and we've seen the behind the scenes footages from All or Nothing as well, right? But I think that's controlled because that is going to go to an edit afterwards versus live crossing from the locker room. Yeah, I think that should be a sacred place. It should remain a sacred place for players. But the other 2, give them to me all day, every day. Can you imagine a player? We are seeing him on camera as like, me, you're subbing me off. And as we've seen so many times, particularly from the superstars, and those are the guys we need to get like the cameras and the mics on, and they go off and they're kicking a bottle and they don't want to touch their manager's hand and he's fuming. Put a mic in front of that man, because that is going to be box office. That is the thing that television is made of, Chuck. Like, I need to see that. As well as like the halftime thoughts, because you have a team that's losing, essentially. That's not doing well. Again, this is for TV purposes, right?
Yeah.
That team that is not doing as well, and the manager is just losing it on the sidelines because they're not carrying out the game plan, or they just fuffing around, and the result at the halftime is what it is. Or you have a manager who's like mindset's like, okay, I know exactly what I need to say to the players, because we often wonder what he said to the players at halftime. Or you hear from the commentary, the manager cannot wait to get them back in the sheds, so he's going to lay into them or give them a new game plan or whatever the case may be. You get to speak to the manager and get his thoughts on what just happened in the game. Those post-match interviews, they're gold. Like, that's where you get like gold from managers and from players, right? And you telling me that we've got double that? We're gonna get that at halftime and at full time? Yeah, for sure. Give me. So give me the halftime conversations, the halftime interviews, and also. Get me the mindset of a player who's getting subbed off.
Man, I think about those options, right? And I'm thinking the dressing room makes sense for me, right? Post match, get a peek into the dressing room, because I feel it gives you the best picture in terms of what's happening with this particular team. They've just lost 2-0. Okay,
that's my issue. Like, guys will not be fully dressed. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, because guys are comfortable in there and they're walking around as they are. And then that's where you hear language that is maybe not suitable for kids, because kids are watching these broadcasts. But that's the only reason.
It's not like you're going to be watching any given Sunday, Jay, man. Here's what I'm saying.
We will be.
If they know.
That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to see dudes in jog stripes over there. Like, what the heck is happening on a quiet Sunday afternoon?
If you know that the first 5 minutes are designated for media work, you're like, guys, hold up on the showers. Let's do the media work. Let's finish. Those conversations that are happening there organically, I think they'll give us the best insight, because you get to hear the manager saying, guys, we tried our best, or laying into them, and the players would retort. Because I think in that particular situation, when it's hot, you're like, man, if Thingy wasn't playing, or if Thingy tried to track back or whatever, we would have won that game. You get to hear those raw emotions. Whereas I think to myself, the sub is a time bomb waiting to just explode.
Exactly.
Interview number 2, because imagine Casemiro says, Ugarte is better than me. There's no way Ugarte is better than me. Actually, let me reimagine that statement. That's gonna cause us as fans to turn against him. One, you played nonsense. You've got the audacity to say that you're better than Ugarte. All of a sudden, now the fans are against this particular player who's voicing his or her opinion. So for me, I mean, that's taking time on, because what is he going to say? Because is anyone ever happy to be subbed off? No. Number 2, are they going to be saying the right things? Because they're going to push them to say, don't say the generic stuff. Don't say the media trained stuff.
And that's exactly what we want, Chuck.
That's what we want.
That's exactly what we want.
The team. Because if you're saying, oh man, Jay's having a worse game than me, why is he still out there? Then after
Well,
the
let me
game,
tell you,
it's
Chuck.
me and Jay vibing.
Well, let me tell you, your concerns about what it's going to do to the team. There are people who are paid big bucks to make sure that what players say, how they interact, does not have a lasting negative impact on the team. There's the coach that you should be managing egos, as that's part of why you are paid. And these guys are professionals as well. They get paid big bucks to control their own emotions. And also, there's a whole team. There's a whole media team. Especially if you introduce this, they're going to be coached on that, right? They're going to be sitting in workshops and seminars in terms of, well, we know that your emotions are high at this point, but this is a dynamic that's being introduced into the game. Therefore, you need to behave a particular way. And that's going to be ingrained in them. And for the most part, I think that's what you're going to see. But on those rare occasions where you do have someone who thinks, nah, there's no way, him over me, that's what we are gunning for, Chuck. And the thing is, guys are already having these conversations. We've seen this, right? When we have seen behind the scenes footage and guys are talking, Utri, to 7. We know, Chuck, we know that guys are having these conversations. So it's just coming like on our TV screens. And as I'm saying, as someone who is a consumer of not only the game, but the drama that is associated with what I call the greatest show in television, I want that.